everybody. Welcome to Galaxy Brains, where that is not the Cowboys easily losing to the Buccaneers in the wild card round. It's real life Cowboys and Pirates joining hand in hand to offer a song of peace, love, and understanding to show the world that we can all live in harmony if only we tried. Denny, so it's the postseason, but we're not here to talk about the playoffs. We're here to talk about the past and some past decisions that were made by teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
One of those being hiring an ESPN analyst mid-season to take over for the most respected coach in the entire game of football. There have been some developments here.
Yeah, it didn't work out. According to us, Jeff Saturday's tenure as coach of the Colts did not work out. They went 1-7 under his watch, point differential of -80, which per the analytics is not good.
Heard it's not good.
But Jeff Saturday got a little bump from Jim Irsay and Chris Ballard, the general manager of the Colts this week, when they said that the results of Jim Irsay's time as interim head coach would not factor in to whether they gave him the full-time head coaching position. So we have to respect a team that values process over results. And the process here, Pat, was that Jeff Saturday was committed to kicking field goals. He was committed to never scoring touchdowns. And he was committed to having a defense that was the worst in the league during his time as coach. So all of that is going to be factored in, but not the results, which were quite bad.
Yeah, what do you think of that analytics lib? I bet you weren't expecting that. I bet you weren't expecting to get triggered
Are you
by
going to cry? Are you gonna cry
by the Colts being all about the process over the results. So they're actually a very forward-minded organization, very forward-thinking. And to me, I think they deserve even more kudos because while this was a great process of hiring Jeff Saturday and letting him be the worst coach in the NFL for half the season, it looks like they're coming up with still even newer and better processes because they're literally interviewing a special teams coach named Bubba to be their head coach. So a lot of people just were very reactionary with how they treated this decision.
Yeah.
And they just look foolish now because this is actually a very analytically minded organization.
I appreciate a team that can overlook the fact that they are a laughingstock under the current head coach and move from there. It's I think it's refreshing myself.
It is very refreshing. Denny, what's also refreshing is yet another Sean McVay retirement rumor. And, because it's after the Rams football season, which that can only mean one thing. 36-year-old Sean McVay thinking about retiring. It's something he does after Super Bowl winning seasons. It's something he does after mediocre seasons. It's definitely something he does after seasons where Baker Mayfield is signed and starts 2 days later on Thursday Night Football. And what is this millennial all tied up in such knots? We read all sorts of trend pieces and think pieces about why millennials can't stay in a job. And it sure has nothing to do with the companies. But why is Sean McVay not happy in what would seem to be his dream job?
Right. I mean, he is, a millennial down to his core. He wants to jump around and have several different jobs after burning down the organization that he inherited. And that's something you have to respect. It's a Galaxy Brain move. You get rid of all the draft picks. You put yourself in salary cap hell, and then you pull the ripcord and you're out. Okay, it's the Sean Payton method. And if you ask me, I think that Sean McVay's 37 years old.
36 years old.
Okay, incredibly young. It feels like he's been coaching for 25 years. He's going to do this to at least 5 more organizations. Okay, he's going to come in. They're going to they're going to win Super Bowls. They're going to go to the Super Bowl, and he's going to say, "I'm out." And so this is the start of something. But it is really, you're right. It is really a generational issue.
It's a generational issue, but it's also a reminder that time stays the same. The world is flat because it's really just Bill Parcells repackaged in like a woke millennial package, Denny. Sorry, I won't use any more buzzword. By the way, even though this is a joke video, I do use that word ironically. But it's just time stays the same. Denny. This is all the buzzwords may change, the presentation may change, Bill Parcells would not be caught dead doing whatever it is Sean McVay does with his hair. But at the end of the day, this is a 36-year-old Bill Parcells, and he's going to be a mercenary for the next 30 years.
Yeah, and that's right. I will say that Sean McVay seems like he never wants to be around anymore.
I know.
Every single season.
By the way, I think we should have maybe taken it as a sign that the Rams window was closing when every key principal of the Super Bowl winning team's like, might retire. I'm like, wow, that's a little weird. But
yeah, they did get that win, though. You know, Pat, who's not winning? New York Jets, and did not score a touchdown the last 3 weeks of the season. Quite stunning. Quite a stunning thing. They gave their offensive coordinator, Mike LaFleur, new opportunities.
They did.
This is how they phrased it. Literally, it's a new, and that's nice. That's nice of them. New opportunities.
That's very much how you fire a millennial. By the way, we never just get, sorry,
no,
we're firing you. We're giving you new opportunities.
We're setting you free for new opportunities, like a bird. Yes. And so it all went downhill. And then after the season, Robert Saleh said, "We're sticking with Zach Wilson through hell and high water." That's a quote. Okay, this is not, I'm not making it. That's a quote. Look it up. And then Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets, came out just this week and said, by the way, we are ready and willing to break the bank on a quarterback this offseason. And really what you have here is a concoction of messages for Zach Wilson. One is, you're our guy no matter what, and we're going to stick with you. We're going to get through the yips. We're going to get through whatever's wrong with you. That's nice. Also, we're going to bring in a veteran, and we're going to pay him all the money that we could possibly pay him. Also, sometimes we're going to replace you with Cris Streveler, who is a Taysom Hill light. And so you mix all those messages up and you put them in a blender, and you have just what Zach Wilson needs, which is, well, I don't know. You tell me what it is.
Well, it's true. I mean, I feel more relaxed. I feel more confident. I feel more ready to perform when I know that Derek Carr has been given $72 million guaranteed. And just that when I'm told I'm the starter, then all of a sudden someone I did not even know this player was on the team, Cris Streveler, they enter the game then and are immediately better than me in the fourth quarter, when our entire season was on the line. Right. So, I think there are actually, some people might say you kill young quarterbacks' careers with a lack of continuity. The Jets are actually just keeping up the continuity of mixed messages for Zach Wilson. They know that if he gets comfortable, his career will wither and die.
Right.
So they're trying to.
They want to keep him. Yeah, they want to keep him on the hot seat. Which, by the way, that's worked out so far.
It has.
For the former number 2 overall pick in the draft, knowing that he has competition has always brought out the best in Zach Wilson, including roaming the Jets sidelines with a little hood on and looking like, I don't know, like a little troll under a bridge.
Looking like, basically, the Zoomers won't remember, but Hayden Christensen, Denny won't even remember. And, of course, the ill-fated George Lucas Star Wars reboot from the early aughts or whatever we call that horrible decade. Yeah. Looked like an extra from one of the worst movies ever made. Denny, it's Galaxy Brains. That means 2 things: brain expansion and talking about Bill Belichick. When we get together to brainstorm, like, what did Bill Belichick say this week? It turns out a lot. When asked point blank by NBC Sports Boston's Tom Curran if hiring Matt Patricia as offensive coordinator was stupid, I'm like barely paraphrasing. Like Tom was trying to be respectful, but he asked if this idea was dumb. And Bill Belichick responded with a lot of words that weren't no. Many, many words that were not no. And he can get very defensive of his coaches and players sometimes. This is not one of those times. And to me, Denny, this is the equivalent of Bill Belichick basically like agreeing to wear a wire, saying he will give you any name you want, so long as he doesn't have to go to jail. He doesn't care if even his family goes to jail. Mm-hmm. The only thing he cares about is that he is staying out of the pen. He can never go back. He will never go back.
It's a complete sellout of the organization and all the people in it. And that's something you do have to respect. I mean, when you interpret, you have to interpret everything Belichick says, because he never really means what he says. So for him to not come out and say, no, I stick by that decision. It was the right decision. I have full trust in Matt Patricia going forward. For him not to say that means that, yeah, you're right. He was admitting it was a boneheaded decision. And frankly, if we could get into this for insulting to offensive football knowers who could have done a really good job with this offense. But no, it goes to the defensive guy with the pencil in his ear.
Just insulting, really, to anyone who's ever witnessed a touchdown in an NFL football game, knowing that probably wasn't the way to go back. And I will date myself horribly, with a quote from a movie no one remembers, the Will Ferrell classic, Semi-Pro. And I can only imagine how many different times Bill Belichick looked at Matt Patricia this season and thought, I wish you were still a washing machine. So someone look it up from the classic starring Will Ferrell and Outcast. But yeah, that's all the time we have today. I do not wish Denny were still a washing machine. I wish that he were still my podcasting friend and partner. And we'll be back next week for more mind expansion.